Welcome to the Gals Guide to the Galaxy podcast, where a group of gals gather for you one cool thing around our topic of the month. Is it ancient history? Is it breaking news? Is it safe for work? Well, that's up to each gal. All we know is that...
Fasten your seatbelts. It's going to be a bumpy night.
Hello, Galactic Glamazons! It is a new month and a new theme at Gals Guide. And you know how we usually say we're shining a spotlight? Well, this month, it's even more appropriate because we are talking about photographers all month long. So we are adjusting the lights, we are checking shutter speeds, and we are framing these shots at the wonderful gals who capture a moment in film. So with me is my camera-ready crew of gal pals. Let me introduce you to them. First up, she will have only one of three things in the background of all of her pictures. It'll be either her art, her books, or a dog.
All the dogs.
All the dogs. It's Bonnie Fillenworth, ladies and gentlemen. Woo! So Bonnie, tell the good people about yourself.
I am a visual artist. I do paintings of women throughout history. And right now, for my Masters of Library and Information Science,
Yes.
I'm working on a research guide about the Harvard computers.
The Harvard computers,
yes,
you say.
And you'll be very proud. I pulled up my thingy. I was writing the little introduction for it, and I said that they are...
You said that they're great and shiny and...
Harvard.
Listed below are many ways to find out more about these stellar women.
Stellar! You put a pun in it!
Puns.
It makes my heart soar with the puns. I love it. Well, next up is a gal pal who just got herself a new job and a new haircut. I had to point that out because it's not a visual show. Katie Harris, ladies and gentlemen. Yay, Katie!
Oh, thank goodness it's not a video feed because this hair is
Right.
something else today.
Your hair looks great.
Oh, well, thank you.
See? Well,
No.
you went hiking today,
was
so
gonna
I mean, you
say,
get like a full
new
pass.
jobs, new hobbies. I don't know what this getting out and about summer thing is, but it feels kind of good.
Look at that.
I'll be
Good
ready
is good.
for the fall hibernation though.
Yes.
So yes. So my new job is working at a school.
Yay.
And I'm excited about that and being back working with kids who have autism.
Sweet.
And helping them grow and attain adult skills before they leave the high school setting.
Right.
Because that's critical for all of our high schoolers.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, but I'm also looking forward to having like spring break, fall break, summer break. I'm going to
Yeah,
be like
right.
a kid again. So I've got to find these hobbies and things to do. And of course, spending time here at the library.
Yay! I'm so excited I get to see more Katie.
Too.
I mean, I will still take baked goods on occasion.
Well, yeah.
And you don't even have to bake them. You can totally pick them up on your way here.
I was thinking about it. Right?
I so love
we need
Katie's
baked
baked
goods.
goods. Yes, exactly. Beautiful. All right. Next up, she is a newbie to the Gals Guide podcast, but she was on an episode of Kate's Take in the Wayback Machine. So I am so happy to be podcasting once again with the lovely Jen Burke. Yay!
Yay!
Jen, tell the good people in podcast land about yourself.
Okay, there's a long list. I'll try to keep it short, but
You're
it
good.
Probably won't be.
You get to be way more than one thing. We all do. So yes.
Well, my professional, my full-time, that's what pays for all the bills
Right.
coming in, is I am an environmental scientist.
Yes!
So I work with waterways and making sure that they don't get polluted during construction.
Oh, fantastic. Yes.
So, I protect our waterways for Indiana. In the meantime, I am also an actress.
Woo! That's how we know each
I
other.
know, that's
yeah.
how we first met. It's insane. I'm doing archery with my son. I
Archery.
have done Spartan races. I am a
Sweet.
3-time marathoner. I am a rescue scuba diver.
Look at that.
I just learned sailing a couple of years ago, and
Oh, wow.
I'm gonna try to get Liam on a boat.
Right. There you go. Yeah, yeah.
And do a little maybe Jacksonville to Miami trip.
Ooh.
Just to get him acclimated to the ocean because
Yeah.
he might not like it, but one of these days I'm going to be living by it. So,
Exactly. Get that sailing on.
and that's all I can remember for
That's
right
fair.
now.
That's fair. We have show
lot.
notes, so at any point we can add stuff later.
Oh, yeah, I'm a photographer too.
And you're a photographer.
There
Yes,
it is.
exactly.
what I'm talking about. I've done portraits. I've done landscape. I've done just about everything. And I started doing a lot of photography around my running, like I said.
Yeah.
With the marathon and
because you've got to be in some
now.
interesting locations and just kind of interesting times of day as well to kind of capture it. So that's lovely to kind of combine those two of photography and marathoning. Love it. I'm so happy you're here, Donna. Yeah.
I'm so happy I'm here.
Well, as for me, I am Dr. Leah Leach, and I'm the executive director of Gal's Guide. And I usually say in a past life, but in a past career, I was a filmmaker, so I love to do photography. And I love anything with photography because it's basically in filmmaking, it's 24 pictures a second, make something move. So therefore, taking only one photo and telling a story that's even better than film is just absolutely pure magic. And I sometimes get jealous of really great photos because I'm like, some movies take an hour and a half to do that same kind of feel. So I'm excited to learn more about photography, gals, and look at magic images. The show notes all month long are going to be awesome because they're going to be loaded with photos, right? So check galsguide.org on each of these episodes, wherever you listen. That way you get to see the photos. So would Bonnie like to go first? I'm just now to the point where I just straight up don't go, who wants to go first? I just go, would Bonnie like to go first?
I would always like to go first because we all know what happens.
We have established that it is the best way to go. And I do love it when Bonnie goes first. Bonnie, who do you have for us?
I cheated a little bit.
Yeah.
A little bit.
Just a little bit of stuff?
I'm doing Dr. Katie Bouman.
Okay.
She is the woman who's... It was a whole team of people, but for some reason it's sticking to her.
Okay.
It's the woman who, in 2019, photographed a black hole.
Oh, it's that lady.
Yeah.
Oh, because I'm
Yeah.
name does not ring a bell. But
It will now.
Yes. Okay, Katie Bouman?
Dr. Katie Bouman.
Oh, I'm so sorry. Dr. Katie Bouman. Oh, sweet. Oh, I love it.
And even better, she was born in West Lafayette.
No way.
Born and raised.
She is an Indiana girl.
Indiana girl.
That is too amazing.
In 1989. So she's...
Oh, she's way younger than me. Okay, got it. Yeah.
She's a little younger than me, too. But she does not have a background in astrophysics.
Oh.
She is an assistant professor of computing and mathematical science.
Mathematical science?
Yes.
I need to talk to my daughter.
From her little bio on, I don't think it's her webpage, I think it's like the university page.
Right.
She said that her research focuses, and I put in pause for pun,
Yes.
because photography month.
Yes.
On computational imaging, designing systems that tightly integrate algorithm and sensor design, making it possible to observe phenomena previously difficult or impossible to measure with traditional approaches.
Bam. I just pulled up her picture.
Boom.
For
Yep,
those who
I
are
love that picture.
For those of us who are in studio.
Nope. Yes.
Sweet. With all of her terabytes.
Yes. That was
Fantastic.
Oh, I wrote it down somewhere. But it's thousands of terabytes.
Oh my gosh.
And I don't even want to know how much. It's a lot.
Yes.
It's a lot. Yeah, they said that they couldn't, when they were working with this data, they had to like fly the terabytes of data. Like they couldn't just like upload it to a cloud and send it or like it's physically on giant hard drives of stuff.
Oh wow.
Because it's so
I
much
can't even
stuff.
wrap my head around that.
It's
I
so
have to
much
be honest.
information.
Yeah.
How
Is it-
how does that
oh,
happen?
Is it all individual
just wait.
pictures too?
Oh,
Okay,
there's
sorry.
all
we,
kinds
we
of
are
crazy.
asking Bonnie too many
Okay.
questions at the
No.
start. Bonnie,
There's
bring it.
too much. There's a bunch of stuff like I am Miss Nerdy Nerd who wanted
Yes.
to work at NASA, and even a lot of this is like over my head.
You're like, oh no, I
Oh,
reached
yeah.
too much nerd.
I was like, I got to a point, and I'm like, I lost her. No. She has several TED Talks, which
Oh,
are
okay.
great, and she is like, just herself is, she's freaking adorable.
Yes.
She's this young lady, and she's not a professional speaker. She's definitely a little like nerdy nerd lady. One of the videos on YouTube, I think, is like a few days after that photo was released, and she's
Oh.
like, I didn't prepare for this at all. She's like giving this like, you know, a little speech in a room that's like very technical, and yeah, she's adorable.
Too cute. She's probably adorkable.
Aww.
Because she's, you know, nerdy nerd and does the math science.
But I love her. She's great. But yeah, she's known as the one who photographed the black hole, though she always points out that it's not her. Like, everywhere she's like, it wasn't just me. I don't quite know why it's stuck to her, because it was a team of like over 200 people around the world.
Yeah. Do you think it's because of the photo?
I don't know.
So it kind of cements in people's mind?
I don't know if it's because she gave that TED Talk a few years before it came out.
Oh, okay.
I'm still trying to understand if it's like her algorithm that came up with, or she's leading the team.
Right.
Or something, but it's like very much a group effort.
Cool.
She always points out, and she always has like a photo of everybody.
Oh, see, that's a good leader. Take it.
But I'm cheating a little bit, because the photo isn't actual. It's weird. The science is weird. It's not a photo of the black hole, but it's plasma being sucked into the hole that forms a like shadow cast by the area where light can't escape.
Gotcha. Okay. So we're not actually seeing the black hole, we're seeing everything around it.
Yeah, like the void of where the black hole would be.
Right.
And yeah, she did a TED Talk about 4 years ago where she explains the difficulty of taking a photo of a black hole. She compares it to taking a picture of an orange on the moon.
Right.
Which is like really hard to grasp, because like we're familiar with like pictures of the moon, and we've seen like close up of craters, but those pictures that we're getting,
we don't know how big they are.
Actually that close. Like, it's hard to get a scale of a photo of the surface of the moon.
Yeah.
But like, it's nuts. But she said the way that telescopes work, like the bigger like the lens and the telescope, the more like detail and like more zoomed in you can get.
Yeah.
So in order to be able to take a photograph of an orange on the moon, you would need a telescope the size of Earth.
Oh wow.
So that's like how much detail you need to take.
Goodness.
Yeah. So it's crazy.
So we don't have that.
No. So instead, they built a computational telescope. It was a network of telescopes around the globe connected together to take this photograph, and they were synced up with atomic clocks.
Cool.
So what they did, they had like 5 to 7 telescope stations around the Earth, and they would take these photos, but then like also as like the Earth rotated, they got, you know, your position changes a little bit. So each time they're taking, you know, hours and hours of data. Yeah. And then they're like smushing them all together. And
then they can get one composite shot by putting all of them.
Well, it's weird. The science is like crazy, and I'm still trying to understand how they're doing it. Gotcha. They're just putting together pictures, and these pictures, I think, are not even necessarily pictures of that. Like, she was even talking about they're just feeding data into the computer to tell it kind of what they think might be a black hole. Okay. Or something. Like, they were breaking up, like, they took a picture and they would break it up into little things, and they were putting in, like, information about, like, what's in these little sections. Right. And that somehow you feed it into the algorithm, and they're coming up with the shape. Yeah. And she was even talking about just random photos. They were teaching the computer what things were. Huh. Like, it was, I'm still trying to figure out.
It's not like putting together a puzzle without.
No, it's not like they're just taking a section and splicing them together. Right. They're taking these things and it's just
formatting it.
It's like a picture created out of data.
Wow.
Like, it's not actually like a photograph like they would think of.
You did cheat.
Yeah.
I know, right? Exactly.
Did cheat.
Super cheating.
Photo.
But
Katie's still not sure about the moon landing. No, I'm just kidding.
All of this sounds a bit crazy.
Was Kubrick behind
this? But yeah, so it's like it's basically a visualization of the data or something.
It's ones and zeros, I guess.
The way that they did this is they broke up into 4 different teams, and they didn't talk to each other for, I think she said, about 7 weeks, because they didn't want to They wanted each team to come up with their own data, to come with their own images, and all the images were like pretty similar. I'm sure to them they were very different, but they all seem to be, dark background, a like circle or semicircular thing,
right,
where there's more light at the bottom. Like they were all pretty similar, and they took like the averages of those, and then they blurred them, which I'm still trying to figure out why they blurred them, and then they got like 3 images, and then they like averaged those, and that's what the final image is that they released.
Interesting.
And it's nuts. And I'm still trying to like
right. Still trying to understand. Well, I mean, it's a lot of physics and math, and yeah.
Those things are understandable.
Right.
Yes, Katie.
Incomprehensible.
That's the word.
They're incomprehensible.
Incomprehensible.
Well, you're talking about the stacking with the information, and I immediately think about when a photographer tries to do stacked
right, the rendering.
exposures.
Yeah.
And that's immediately what my brain is going to, but it doesn't even sound like it's that.
It's a lot. Like
maybe a ones and zeros version of that?
I think so.
Maybe.
That's more like
maybe that explains the blurring. Yeah.
So it's more about the data than it is about the visual, which is ironic because you're trying to put together a visual.
But it's thousands of terabytes of data, and there's that picture of her with the data, which I love. I found a meme earlier this week that had Margaret Hamilton at the top, and then Dr. Katie Bouman at the bottom, and I was like, that's amazing.
It's so cute. Have you ladies ever seen the Margaret Hamilton picture?
Have not.
Let's see if I can find this.
She is a Lego figure now.
She is. So Margaret Hamilton, she calculated, I don't remember if it was Apollo or Mercury.
Apollo missions, and she has this stack of code that she wrote.
Written code versus, the terabytes of data, digital code,
It's taller than her. Yeah. And she wrote up, Margaret Hamilton is with, she not only she led the team that wrote all that code, but then she also put into place backups in the coding, where if this shuts down, do that, it wouldn't just shut off,
right?
It would have I think it was a priority of systems, you kind of need air,
right?
Turn
off the air last. Right. But that's very cool that the two of them side by side, because it's,
and Margaret Hamilton's still alive, and I hope that they have met, and I need a photo up of them.
That would be adorable.
But yeah, the data was all put into algorithm, and it was called the Continuous High Resolution Image Reconstruction Using Patch Priors, or CHIRP.
Well, chirp, my good man.
Chirp.
Chirp.
We're going with chirp.
I dig it.
But yeah, when I first saw it, I was very excited when I heard the news about the photo of the black hole, and then I saw it, and at first I was like,
I should probably pull up the actual picture that she's,
Yeah, it'll be very overwhelming.
It's so exciting, guys.
I know.
Look at that.
It does make me think, if you kind of messed up your project, and you're but the public's waiting.
Yeah. This is what I got, guys. It's amazing.
That's somebody holding a flashlight in the dark after you got drunk around a bonfire. That's what I'm saying.
I mean, maybe.
Well, I was thinking about it earlier this week.
Horizon.
Yeah. I was thinking about earlier this week, and I was like, you know what? Our first photos of the planets were a lot like that photo, too.
Yeah.
And those were not that long ago.
Yeah.
But she says it's important to take a photograph of this black hole to help prove scientific theories, Einstein's theory of relativity. So it's not just the visual of taking it.
It's not just a pretty picture,
scientific calculations with this data in the photograph to make sure all this stuff's working.
Yeah.
And I'm not sure, are they using that data to talk about how the black holes are changing and morphing?
She did say in one of them, the data that they pulled off was only 4 days, and they could see the stuff moving. So I think that's where it's going to go next. They're going to track the movement. I think she wants to take a video.
Yeah.
But that's even more terabytes of data.
Oh my goodness. Yes, exactly. But so they have about 4 days in the life, about
I
4
think
days
it
in
was
the life
like
of a...
April 4th to April 11th, and in the longer lecture that I watched, that was a few days after it launched. She went into she was showing the little the slides of it.
Nice. I mean, I'm just, there can be so much more data for watching it longer and watching it in different spots, and amazing. So much more to learn.
But she did, after the photo came out, and I'm still trying to figure out why, there was a whole bunch of backlash.
No.
From dudes on the internet.
Oh.
Because it's always the dudes on the internet.
Of
I
course.
think the dudes, I don't know. I think people just got excited and were immediately criticizing. She always says it's a team of people.
Right,
But
right.
I think when they put it out and that picture went viral, dudes didn't even read the fucking article or read the headline.
Yeah.
And they were like, she didn't do this all by herself. Like, they were attacking her.
Yeah, they were attacking
so
her
much
because-
Thinking
so.
she was trying to take all the credit.
Yes.
Ah.
Yes. You don't remember that?
No,
I
for some reason I think I just blocked it out and went, ooh, black hole. You know what I mean? And then I was like, yes,
Yeah.
I'm totally, yeah.
It's sad that that's the most part. That's what I remember the most about it.
Oh, it's her
Was all the
being...
crap she got.
Yeah.
Yay!
But it was so much, it was so bad that one of her colleagues had to get on Twitter and was like, you guys are being asshats. Stop.
Right?
That's what I got.
That's what you got. Okay, sorry.
That's what I got. I couldn't find a whole bunch about her life. I mean,
Right.
she is only 30.
Right, exactly. And most of that life has been school.
Yeah.
You know what I
Yeah.
mean? It
She
takes a
did
lot of education
Her
to
dad
learn all
taught
this.
at Purdue.
Oh, cool.
She went to Michigan, University of Michigan for her bachelor.
Ah.
Her
Wolverine.
master's and I think doctorate
Ooh.
were at I believe MIT.
Okay, there you go.
now
So,
she's
Margaret
teaching
Hamilton
in-
alumni then.
Nice.
Those two have to have met. They went
They
to the
had-
same... I mean, I'm not it's not like Margaret Hamilton's still hanging around MIT right now. I'm just saying.
She could be.
All the more reason. There's got to be an alumni meeting or something like that. And they're just hobnobbing, scientists.
Her email was on that page, so I felt oh, maybe we could have her.
I know, right?
Have a little meetup.
Tell
with
her
Margaret.
about the glorious library. It'd be great.
Mhm.
Especially if we have put in for a possibility of being
Yes.
a NASA library, which I want
Na-na-na.
so badly. They only pick 60, so I mean,
But we've
Yeah,
applied.
we've applied.
Hey, why not?
Exactly.
Have
So
fun.
we're trying.
Go for it.
But very cool. Did you ladies have any questions about Katie Bouman? Sorry, Dr.
Dr.
Katie
Keating.
Bouman. There you go.
Bouman.
Adorableness. Is she still working on the project?
They are.
Or the next phase of the project, or is she that's cool, I'm moving on to galaxies
No.
or nebulas?
Well, she's not
or...
even her
That's
her
true.
job is computers, so she
Right, yeah,
not
yeah, yeah.
only had to do this great work, but she had to learn about black holes.
Right.
And they were putting this at a specific black hole. At first I thought they were talking about the one that's at the center of our galaxy,
Right.
but it's somewhere else. It's
Oh.
a different one. It's it's M87 or 57,
Gotcha.
a lovely name.
Yes, of course. Sexy.
Yes.
Fantastic. So that wraps us up for this week. Thank you, Bonnie. Join us next week as our next gal pal shares her one cool photography gal as the Gals Guide podcast continues. Thanks for listening. For show notes, links, and images from this week's show, visit galsguide.org. Want exclusive stuff like deleted bits and major bloopers? Become a Gals Guide patron today. Thanks for listening.